Let's say you have one day this week to go out on the water and catch some flounder. What do you do to make sure that you get on the bite? In this video, I'm going to take you through in about 5 minutes how to break down an area and find the best spots within that area to catch nice flounder. All right, so let's get started real quick on this spot to let you know this actually is a look at an area that was requested by one of my subscribers named Giovanni. So Giovanni, this one here is for you. Here's an aerial view of the area that he had asked about, and to give you a reference point, the inlet is very close, within a mile, and it's almost straight down at the bottom of the screen in this direction. So the outgoing tide is going to go top to bottom, incoming bottom to top, and then of course the water will filter from the sides and back in those general directions. So immediately when I take a look at this area, I can see a few areas of opportunity. Over here, I immediately looked at this little horseshoe shape right in this section, and I kind of dismiss it because those feeder creeks at the top are really small and they look really shallow from the satellite view. So I'm going to look past that, and I'm going to start looking for points and maybe some hidden depths and some drop-offs, which are pretty tough to see from this view, but I can immediately identify that I want to look here, here, here. So those are the immediate places that I want to look. Okay, so let's jump right in. We got a pretty good view from the satellite of areas that we might want to look, and now we have the Navionics view, which shows the contours of the bottom of the water channels and this creek system. And there are 3 spots in here that I would identify to fish right off the bat. And they're first one here, number 1, then up here in the middle, number 2, and then over here next to it, number 3. Now there are more spots that I would try, but these are the first 3 that I would try if I were to set up on any given day to fish this area. So let's start with spot number 1. Okay, so as I zoom in on spot number 1, you can see here it's this point right here that I want to fish. And on the outgoing tide with the water going top to bottom and right to left, I want to fish basically ahead of the structure and through the structure. So on the outgoing, I'm going to start up here around the 13-foot depth, but I'm going to do it over these lines that are very close together because that indicates a sharp grade, a sharp decline from shallow water to deep. So I'm going to try to drift down in this direction over those lines, come around the corner here, and then drift out towards the left. Then I'm going to stop right in this section here where you lose a little bit of the structure and you lose the benefit of that point that I want to fish. On the incoming tide, I would fish it the exact same way, just opposite. I'd start in this section here, drift around that corner, and then just drift it right up until about this 13, and then I pick it up and start that drift again. So now we'll come up to spot number 2. This is very similar. It's a point, but it empties out into a larger bay-like area. So again, on the outgoing tide, the water top to bottom, I'd start in this 6-foot range. I would try to hug this point right here and go over where these lines are very close together. Again, that's a very sharp grade. So from shallow to deep water, you can see it gets down to 19 feet. And I would follow that down until I got right to about this area here, where it's around 15 feet in that hole right next to it. If I didn't pick up anything, or even if I did along the way, I'd pick up my line there and move back up to the top and start over. And again, just like the other one, I would reverse this on the incoming tide where the water is going from the bottom to the top. And spot number 3 is also, this one I really like. You can see here the green and the blue. It really indicates that the water is very shallow in the blue area, and sometimes it's dry in the green area. So at low tide, you could have an exposed point right here. Again, go back to the tide. It's going to go from the top right to the bottom left on the outgoing. So I'm going to start right up here around where it's 13 feet, but a little bit over to the left where these lines are a bit closer together. And I'll let that current take me right around this corner here, right past the 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-foot depths next to me. And I'd fish it all the way down here till about 17 feet where it starts to rise again. And again, just reverse it on the incoming. Giovanni, I hope this video helps you to be more productive in the 2021 flounder season, and I think it will. For those that would like me to do a similar type of breakdown for an area that you want to fish, my email address is popping up on the screen below. Send me an email with the specific area you want me to take a look at, and let me know, are you fishing from boat, shore, or kayak? For those that want to try to do these breakdowns on their own, a video is popping up on the screen that will show you the process that I go through and the tools that I use in order to do this. So click that video. And if you'd like to just see more videos that also include catch footage from my previous season of flounder fishing, click the playlist popping up on the screen, and I hope to see you in the next video.